gonna fuck you up, Tolu. Real bad. Wait.
Is that how you take the breaths before you go right? Take a deep one more time.
Whatever. Anyway, I'm waiting for an audience to build up. Sorry about that, you guys. I had to let my husband in the house. Hope you guys are enjoying your fun day Sunday. Hope you have time with your family. Do it again, baby. What do I do before I come on?
Stop.
My deep breaths, my meditation. I go like, do it again. You don't want to. Don't be acting camera shy. You are no novice or amateur when it comes to the camera.
Take a deep breath. One more time.
Really, Tolu. All right. So many of you think you know what the purpose of a twin flame union is, but I don't think you really know. Because if you knew, I don't think that Source would have me channeling this message. There are a lot of discrepancies, a lot of inconsistency or inconsistencies when it comes to why people think that twin flames twin flames should be a union. I am sleepy. I really am, but I'm going to get this one out
Get it out. Get it out.
because I promised you guys I would, and I've been waiting all day. So, you know, I can share my expertise, my knowledge, and my experience about the twin flame journey and the union with all of you. So I'm going to send out my angels to come and collect you guys and bring you here. And let's get right into it. First of all, twin flames is the highest order of love, down to the core. Twin flame unions teach us about unconditional love and, most importantly, radical forgiveness. Ain't that right, baby? They can't see you shaking your head.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, thank you. Hi, Nick. Yes, you made it. Back on time. So, unions is a is it's a protocol. It's part of the journey. You cannot be a twin flame and never come into union with your twin. That's a myth. There are some, I'll say this, there are some twin flames that are not advanced yet, and this is not their lifetime for union. But I don't believe that they've met each other, and if they did, they don't know that they're twin flames. Because those that are a part of the 144,000 that are supposed to come into 3D union will get union. It is assured. Hi, Dana Wayna. It's not a thought to contemplate. You don't have to go see, the shaman down the street to exorcise your twin flame demons, etc. It's going to happen. And there is so much misinformation out there about the union that I want to debunk. First and foremost, you will not have all of your blocks cleared before you come into 3D union. That is a myth. As a matter of fact, union is specifically for the clearing and of the blocks that we may have when we come into union. And you're still going to get triggered. You know how sometimes people say, oh, when you come into union, it's going to be like, it's going to be like zen, and it's going to be so perfect, harmonious, love, peace, and light. Do you agree with that, baby? You agree with that? You agree that union is peace, love, and light, and there's no triggering, there's no wounds that we still have to heal from. You believe that we still have to heal from our wounds? Huh, baby?
Right.
He's in his phone. He ain't paying attention. It's all good though. You still have to work through, baby. You still have to work through those core wounds. You still have to work through those traumas, and you are going to be triggered even more while you're in union because you're more up close and personal. You're in the same space, okay? I'm just saying, a true twin flame is going to be in union with their divine counterpart. There is nothing that you could do to mess that up. Trust me. This is a divine union, and this is what people tend to forget about. The only third party that should be in your union is Source, Spirit, God, and the embodiment of your spirit, mind, and your body, the two becoming one. You are the same soul in two separate bodies. Okay? Once you gain understanding of who you are, that is what opens up the way for the journey. And first and foremost, let me explain something. Every twin flame finds their twin flame during a spiritual awakening. Listen to everyone that is a true twin flame. Listen to their stories. Even though some may vary to some degree, obviously, because our soul contracts are different and we're not going to find our divine counterpart the same way. But ultimately, if you ever listen to the stories of twin flames, they will always tell you that they have come into alignment or found their twin during a spiritual awakening. Every twin flame finds their divine counterpart during their spiritual awakening. And it is on purpose. It's for a reason. The reason is there is a divine purpose between you and your twin flame. The divine purpose is the twin flame union. That's what you have in common. Ding, 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 ding. That's the reason why Source allows you guys to align and find each other when you're on your spiritual awakening journeys. Now that you are awakened, guess what? You got a twin flame. Oh shit, the plot just thickened. So you'll find yourself going through an awakening within an awakening when you go on your journey, because you will find that there is another part of you that is your divine counterpart that may be opposite, okay, in energy. One may be the dark twin, one may be the light twin. All right. One may be the divine masculine, one may be the divine feminine. Yes, it does. It can suck, but it also can be the most rewarding experience that you can think of. I know that some of us want to throw the towel in on this journey. This journey is not easy, okay? But trust me, if you continue to work on yourself, not trying to be cliche, but really, if you do the energy work and you do the work that you came here to do, it makes it all well worth it. Like, I could be laying in a soulmate, a karmic's arm right now, and I could be happy, but I won't be happy the way that I am laying next to my twin flame. Like, I'm beyond happy. I'm ecstatic. I'm overwhelmed. And I believe sometimes I overwhelm him. Sometimes he overwhelms me too. we just go back and forth with the energy because the energy is so magnetic. It's just, you know, something that you have to learn how to control. And then some divine masculines don't know how to control it, so they run. Some divine feminines run too. I was always the runner. I don't never really, I've never been a chaser in any relationship. So when it came to my twin flame relationship, I don't believe I ever chased. It's not in me. I don't know how. Um, I feel that if you allow your divine counterpart to work on themselves and do what they need to do, eventually it will all align, especially if you're continuously raising your vibration, because that is the name of the game. Yes, there's nothing like it. Like I love being in Tolu's arms. I love sleeping in his arms. It's like I don't know what's happening outside in the world, nor do I care. Okay, they could be rioting right in front of our house while we sleep. I'll just continue to sleep in his arms, because that's just how much peace I feel when I'm lying in his arms. Um, we all have different soul contracts and what we bring to the relationship dynamic. Twin flames push you towards your gifts. Whatever it is that you came to this earth to do, your twin flame will push you towards that. Baby, I'm doing a live. Will you just like living life right now?
Because you know, I shouldn't. I'm just gonna move my bed so you
No,
can.
don't hold your breath. Ah, baby. Say hi at least. You
Hi.
don't. With your hand? Show your hand.
Hi.
Show your hand.
Hi.
Baby. Anyway, he's living life right now. Um, what I was saying is that twin flames push you to your gift, whatever your hidden gifts and talents are. Most people ask, on the spiritual journey or in the twin flame journey, what are my gifts? When you come into union within yourself, your gifts will make way for you. Like, you don't even have to ask. That's something that's a given. That's something that's going to be revealed to you by your spiritual team. Like, I don't even think it's good to go outside of yourself and ask that question, because all of the answers that you seek are within. No one could ever tell you what your gifts are, because many of us have mastered many lifetimes, and we have several gifts that we can tap into. So that's only a question that your higher self can pull you to. That's only a question that only you on a grand scale can answer. Nobody outside of you really can answer that question. Although I have done readings for people and I have been able to tell them what their gifts were, it doesn't mean that I knew everything about them. It just, I'm able to see. There are ones that are called seers, which is who I am. I can see that, but most psychics can't see that. Most psychics can't tell you what your gifts are. Just because they can see the future, and well, let me just say the foreseeable future. They can see the foreseeable future because, you know, things change, even things in the future. We can alter our reality right now by making a decision, and that can just counteract anything that we thought that we had that was going to come into fruition for us. Thank you so much, Neek. We can alter our realities at any given moment just based off of the way that we think. The purpose of union, you guys, is so we can share our love with the world. There's so much low vibrational 3D love out here. It's only surface love, that we are here to show the world that unconditional love does exist. We don't care about instant gratification. This is the reason why I'm going to pick back up on what I was saying on the last slide. This is the reason why a lot of divine feminines are celibate. And now our divine masculines are starting to have self-love and self-worth for themselves. They're becoming celibate too, because they realize that they've been entangling themselves with the devil. They've been dancing with the devil, right? It's not worth killing your body. It's not worth destroying your soul for a cheap connection that is going to have you tethered, okay, to this negative energy that's going to drain you of yours. It's going to keep you from your highest good. Okay, the reason for union is because your divine counterpart is there to help share that energy, to neutralize that energy, so you can push this energy into the collective and share it with the world. To bring the love, the peace, the light, the harmony, and everything that needs to be here for the new earth. This is the purpose of Twin Flames. You guys are a part of, I would say, history in the making. This is truly history in the making that we are all a part of, you guys. Don't throw in the towel. You guys have your work cut out for you, sure enough. But I'm telling you, once you get into it, once you start doing your healing work, all right, that is when your union is going to start within. Because the union has to start within before you experience the union on the without. And these so-called, twin flame gurus that talk about, oh, you got to clear all these blocks and all these blocks need to be cleared before you come into union. They don't know what the hell they talking about. All right? We are imperfect, but we are perfectly perfect. We're doing our best. No, you do not have to be with your twin, but you will always be on a twin flame journey, whether you're with your twin or not. So you might as well do the work and be with your twin if it's suitable for you. I realize there are a lot of divine masculines that are not competent. And when I mean competent, let's just say this: God has equipped us all to be competent, but because they choose to stay stuck on the 3D, it leaves the divine feminine kind of like in a position to where she has to kind of like suit for herself. She has to fend for herself. But I can guarantee you, if this person is really truly your twin flame, they will align with you once you start doing the work. Source has showed me. There has been times where people have thought that their twin flame was their real twin flame and they ended up being a karmic. Twin flame, once you do the spiritual work, this is how you know this is your true twin flame or your true twin. When you start working on yourself, they start raising their autonomy. They start working on themselves too, whether they want to or choose not to. It's a magnetic pull. They have no choice. And I hear so many people say, "Well, my twin didn't choose me. That wasn't your twin, baby. That was a karmic." Your twin will always choose you. And trust me, believe me, there are some divine masculines that are a mess and know that they are a mess, but they love their divine feminines. And they will never choose another person over their divine feminine. Okay? And if they do, it's only temporary and they snap out of it as long as you continue to do your work. I believe there is. I believe there are catalyst twins, which are karmics, that mimic a twin flame, that may mimic you, certain aspects of you. They may repeat sentences after you, etc. I've had that happen with my previous relationship. I thought he was my twin flame. But a twin flame is not going to go 2 years without having physical contact with you. Okay, I know that for a fact. Like, me and Tolu can barely go the times that we go without physical communication, physical contact, etc. Your twin flame is going to crave you because that is the way that is set up, baby. That is so true, Dana. Once you meet your twin flame, you do not want to be with anyone else because you have met your one. You have met your match. And to be with anyone else is like fornication on a spiritual level. And I'm not talking religion. I'm really going deep, you guys. Once you meet your twin flame, once you have been with your twin flame and you guys have had coitus, you have pretty much brought heaven to earth. You don't have to have a physical piece of paper saying you're married. You're already married in the heavens. You already have a chemical marriage anyway. But once you bring heaven onto earth, when you bring the spiritual act into the physical form, all right, that is a consummation of marriage, a form of marriage. And so, therefore, you don't even want to be intimate with anyone else other than your divine counterpart. And that's the reason why many divine feminines stay celibate. And there are many divine masculines that remain celibate too. Not all masculines are going out here doing and scoring everything that has a skirt. There are some divine masculines that have disciplined themselves to where they're not having sex with no one besides their divine feminine because they feel the same way. They feel that there is no other woman that can give them the level of satisfaction, not even on a physical level, that their divine feminine can give because it doesn't exist. Your divine counterpart knows how to reach you sexually beyond the physical 3D. And it's not duplicatable. No one can duplicate that. No one can replicate that. A karmic cannot replicate the divine feminine sexual energy. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Aww, that's right. What parts of the journey are you not okay with? Is it the fact that you have an expectation from your twin? Because that's one thing that I want to share with you guys. If you're expecting union when your twin still needs healing, then it's almost kind of like wanting someone to have surgery that you know that's not going to undergo surgery, but you know they have surgery that needs to be done. You can want it for them all day long, but if they don't want it for themselves, they're never going to get healed. So your divine counterpart needs to want to heal for themselves. And I'm telling you, it's kind of like a vacuum. I had a dream last night that I got a, what is it called? Uh, a carpet shampooer. I need to look up what that means. But that's like getting a vacuum. If you get a vacuum, you expect for it to work. You expect for it to pick up whatever you're picking up off of the floor. But when that vacuum cleaner stops working, do you still use that vacuum cleaner? No, you either get it fixed or repaired, right? Or you go get another one. I'm not saying that you go out here and go get another divine masculine, but what I'm saying is that you stop putting energy into something that you know that is not going to grow. It is not your responsibility, Neek. It is not your duty to fix a person that wants to stay broken. The only person that you can work on is yourself. And what I am saying by working on yourself, that is what accelerates you into union, 3D union with your divine counterpart. When you step into your divine purpose, that's the next topic I wanted to share with you guys. Union is necessary. That's the whole part of the journey. Union is not necessary with a twin on the outside, Nick, but union is necessary within. And once you have union within, the outside is already taken care of. That's all. You never need to see. Here's the thing, and this is what makes the journey difficult, is because we want to go about it the way we go about our soulmate relationships when we do physical work. This is not physical work. This is spiritual work. The way that you achieve union with your twin is never doing work on the physical level on the outside. It's inside, and that's how it's made evident. That's how your union with your twin is made a reality. Me and my husband, I want to say, uh, we've always communicated telepathically. All right, since the beginning, before we even knew that we were twin flames. So when we were out of communication, that's the way we communicated. Absolutely, Nick. That is so important. That is, all of those things are very integral. It's very necessary in order for you to have a healthy relationship. But you have to realize that this is not a physical relationship or union. This is a spiritual union. So we have to approach it as such. We have to approach it from a different vantage point. We have to approach it from a spiritual standpoint. Case in point, if I know that my twin flame is a narcissist and he doesn't speak to me quite well, what I need to do as absolutely, Nick, you're absolutely welcome. What I need to do in order to counteract his narcissistic behavior is not to tolerate it. Period. And let him know, don't talk to me like that. That's not the way you talk to me. And if he can't respect that, then you have to let him know, look, I can't talk to you because you are not respecting my boundaries. You're not respecting the way that you talk to me. And I have to focus on me right now. I have to put myself first. And that's by me not speaking to you. And that is a godly rejection. And you have the right to godly reject him because that's not out of ego. That's out of the soul. That's soul love. And that's love for self. The number one thing that you have to do in this journey is love yourself first. Never love them at the expense of your sanity or at the expense of losing yourself. Never lose yourself in the union. Always make sure that you are always putting yourself first. You're always loving yourself. You have self-worth and you have self-respect. This is so true. Dana just made a very interesting and very correct and actual and punctual fact. Divine masculines have more to clear out than what divine feminines do. My divine masculine is mocking me right now. Don't look at me like that. You make me want to kiss you every time you do that. Stop. I'm doing a live. Sorry. They do. Because most of our divine masculines have incarnated but haven't worked on their shadow as much as we have as divine feminines. And so therefore they kind of remain stuck and stagnant until we give them a push in the Watusi, block them or something. I'm just saying, let them know that we ain't gonna tolerate that. Shh. We ain't gonna tolerate it. You gotta be different than the karmics. Karmics tolerate anything. Divine Feminine knows who she is. You are truly the queen on your throne. And you're gonna be queen of your queendom regardless if Divine Masculine arrives or not and show up on his white horse. Okay, we're not looking for here's the thing, how I gained union is I wasn't looking for Tolo to do absolutely nothing. I swear to God, I wasn't looking for him to. I felt he was going to come back. I always felt it because I knew where I was energetically with him in my alignment because I worked on myself. I worked on my triggers. I worked on my daddy issues. I worked on abandonment issues as a child. I was abandoned by my father because I told on my father for cheating on my mom, which my mom divorced me, and I was always maltreated from him because of that. Hell yeah, that'll spark some fire up on his ass because don't know divine masculine want his divine feminine to be with nobody. Come on, we're divine feminine. Look at the love that we give to him. Do you think that he wants you to turn around and give that same love to somebody else? Not your true divine masculine, no. If you are truly with your twin flame, your true twin flame will look at that as competition. And they don't want no competition. Okay? So, divine feminines, you will never be alone. Trust me. That's one thing that I always tell my divine feminines when I'm coaching them. When they're out of union with their loves and they want to be in union. Divine feminine, you will never be alone. Date. Don't just because you're in a waiting don't mean you can't date. And dating don't equate to sex. I dated. I dated. And I never had sex with one person that I dated. Okay? So that doesn't equate sex just because you're dating. Dating is taking out the time to get a chance to know somebody. All right? And while you're getting to know other people, let them, nurse their own selves back to health. It's not your job to be the moderate. It's not your job to be, you're not their doormat. You're not there for them to walk all over you and then go back to their karmics and do whatever the hell they want to do and then come to you only when they find that you're with someone else. Live your life, and not only live your life, live your best life. You're never supposed to wait. You never wait on your divine counterpart. Okay? And that's where many of us divine feminines, that's where we go awry. That's where we go wrong on this journey, is that we wait for them. And I know that there has been people that have been waiting on their divine counterparts forever. And the reason why you're waiting is because you're not supposed to wait. That's why you're waiting. Because you're violating the spiritual laws of the journey. You're not supposed to wait. So you stay in limbo, and you stay in that process of being confused. The two of swords. No, come out of that confusion. Make your mind up to put yourself first. Unblock your heart. Forgive them. All right, and move on. And don't resent them because they don't see the journey the way that you see it. Remember, you are the one that is the mature soul. You are the spiritually evolved person, not them. They're like babes to this. They're new. This is that they're like fresh fish out of water. I'm even grateful that my husband even know he's a divine masculine and I'm a divine feminine and that we're twin flames. Hell, that's all he feel like he needs to know at this point. Everything else is a relative, and he's absolutely right. Because as long as he continues to just work on himself and his triggers, that's all he needs to do. All the in-depth technology, or technicalities of the journey and all of that, he doesn't need to know that. He was born a divine masculine. He never needed to know that in order to become his divine self. All he needed to do is wake up spiritually, and that's what he's doing. Many of our divine masculines are not going to know the technicalities and the ins and outs of this journey, and they don't have to. As long as they know who they are, and as long as they know that you guys are twin flames, you're doing good, right, baby? Right, baby? He's sleepy. He said yes. I love you. Oh, my baby's sleepy. He's fighting his sleep, y'all. Let me not put the camera back on him. But anyway, union is possible. Um, when you have two people who really truly love each other, and I'm going to be quite honest, my husband is the one that uses the terms twin flame more than me. I don't use it as much as he does. And the reason why is because I try not to get caught up in the labeling, etc. I know he's my twin flame, but I'm more focused on the work. What I need to do for myself to stop triggering myself. One thing that I can tell you, divine feminine, stop having expectations for them, because every time you have expectations, they'll disappoint you. I don't have no expectations for him. From day to day, we are pretty much in a natural ebb and flow of everything. We normally don't plan things, and when we do, we do it according to plan. But it's just really a lot of our marriage is spontaneity. It's being spontaneous most of the time. My husband don't like the pressure of planning a lot, so I just try to go with the natural ebb and flow when I'm with him, and not put any unnecessary stress upon him, because men tend to get more triggered that way, as opposed to going with the natural ebb and flow. Baby, go to sleep. If I hear you breathe like that one more time, I'm gonna scream. Are you waiting for me? Yeah, so anyway, it's it's not what we've been told. And I'm not even pissed off. I'm glad that it wasn't the shit that I've been told along the journey and along the way. In order to get union, you have to clear out this, you got to clear out that. I'm not saying I have cleared out our bloodline, though, on both sides. Because I don't want that shit to pass on to our kids. So I did do the bloodline clearing, but I don't think that it's necessary. I don't think that you have to do it in order for you to get twin flame union. I just did it because I wanted to break cycles. I didn't want that to be passed on down me and Tolu's lineage with our children. I wanted to make sure that I cleared it out. And I wanted to make sure that it stopped with both of us, especially when it came to our finances, our health, our wealth, all of that. You know, the most important thing that I can relate to anyone is just working on yourself, loving yourself, healing yourself, kissing yourself, and just doing things for yourself that you want someone else to do, like hug you, kiss you, make love to you. There is a book by Queen Afua. Uh, it's about it's about the divine feminine holding your energy. Just look Queen Afua up. I forgot the name of it. But that's where I learned how to embrace the divine feminine within me with the mirror. Namaste, Cecilia. Is taking a mirror, putting it up to your yoni, and just looking at it, talking to it, touching it. We have been so used to suppressing our sexuality. Over here in the West, it's like demonized if you masturbate. No, you have to really come into intimacy with yourself first before you can become intimate with someone else. And I'm glad that I took the time out to get her book because she has some yoni steams that are in there, like yoni baths, some good enema, some vaginal cleansing that she has in that book. But my favorite part of that book was at the very beginning when she opened herself up and she talked about the Egyptian coming forth, the Book of the Dead, and how she learned so much about traveling the world, of how we as divine feminines should treat ourselves, and how we have, I think it's called the sacred woman, okay? And how we have to do some deep trauma healing, and most of it starts with our womb. We we haven't been properly taught how to heal the womb, and how twerking and all that stuff, we judge African women for twerking and think that it's so, degrading. No, it's not. You're shaking your womb, you're activating your womb, your chakras. There are chakras in your vagina. Did you know that? You're activating those chakras, you're remaining fertile. And that's the reason why you have women like me that are still 42 years old and still getting their menses. I went to the doctor this year and the doctor was like, "You're still coming on your period?" Of course I'm still coming on my period because I'm still fertile. And that's a sign of fertility. And I'll come on my period until I'm almost 50 because my mom came on until she was 55. My mom danced a lot, but she never twerked. I twerk. I do sacred healing for the womb. And any woman that does that is going to remain fertile. Okay? It takes a fertile woman 9 months to a year to become pregnant. All right? So continue to keep loving on your body, doting on yourselves, putting yourselves first, eating electric foods, drinking and hydrating yourself with water, whether it's spring water, distilled water, alkaline water. I don't care. I'm not going to argue with you. Water is water, damn it. Just drink it. I drink them all. I drink all three. And I don't sweat myself over which type of water I get. It's whatever I grab at the grocery store at the time. And that's the truth. But I normally don't drink alkaline water when I'm doing hydrotherapy with peroxide. I've been doing peroxide and I've been doing hydrotherapy, which I love. Thank you so much, Cardinal. Video like, love, hello all. Hello to you, beautiful soul. Welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, we we focus more on a union on the outside, on the 3D, than we focus on a union that is within. And that is the most important union that there ever will be. The twin flame union is about bridging heaven to earth, making heaven come to earth, your heaven. That's the reason why the last picture that I posted of me and Tolu today, I said heaven on earth. I'm not talking about me and him. I'm talking about everybody. The twin flame union, the twin flame journey. It is heaven on earth. That's when you bridge the portals between heaven and earth. And that person does become your heaven on earth. And there's nothing that you did to make that person your heaven on earth. That person was already predestined to be your heaven on earth. Just like you were predestined to be theirs. And one thing that we often forget, or one person that we often forget to mention when we talk about the flame journey, we always hear divine masculine and divine feminine, but we forget God's source, the divine. This is a divine union. This is not a twin flame union. Even though there's twin flames involved, there's three people involved. We always forget the main source. When you forget the main ingredient in a recipe, does it turn out the same? No, it doesn't. As a matter of fact, the key ingredient, the missing ingredient, is what makes the whole recipe. And for twin flames, that's God's source. You can't leave out the main person and expect for it to go well. It will not. You will falter because the main person that should be interwoven into a twin flame dynamic would be source, because that's what we're all evolving back to. We are all divine sparks, and we are all evolving back to source, whether we're a twin flame or not. Everybody has a spiritual journey. It's just that the twin flames have a double spiritual journey. And I call it earth experience. That's what I call it. I don't call it a spiritual journey because I'm already a spirit. I'm not journeying as a spirit. My journey is as a human being right now. And I'm embracing all. The good, the bad, the ugly, the right, the wrong, the indifferent. I came for it all. Alright? When I wasn't with my twin flame, it felt like a part of me was dying. I've never experienced that with an individual until now. But I knew that each day that I was without him, I was also gaining life because I knew the sustainer of life that was giving me life. And that's how I was able to traverse through the separation without feeling separated. I always knew that if it was meant for me and him to be together, if he was my true twin flame, we would get back together, and we did. Sooner than what I thought, actually. That separation process was very much needed because my twin needed to appreciate me and see that I was different from any other woman he's ever been with. I didn't have to have a separation. I already loved him and knew he was different. I never questioned it. I knew from the day the day I laid eyes on him. He's so cute. I love that little inner child of his. It's just so cute when it comes out. And I can identify with it because of being a mother. I can just see when his inner child needs to be nourished. And that's another thing. That is a gift. That is an attribute for divine feminines. Is that we can see that inner child of our divine counterpart, and we know when they need to be coddled, when they need to be hugged, when they need to be loved. We know it. We can see it because we are here to heal them. And that's one thing that divine masculines notice too, is that when they are with us, they receive healing. Karmics cannot heal them. A soulmate cannot heal you. Only your divine counterpart can heal you. I didn't write the book. God did. These are God's rules. Okay? There are some divine feminines that are being relieved right now by soulmates, and that's okay. There's no right and there's no wrong. No one stands in judgment of you. I've been there before. I had a soulmate. Okay? But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, the union is the union of all unions. It cannot be compared to any other union. This is the ultimate love that there is on the face of the earth, including the planet. Okay? This is the most love that you'll ever experience to this extent in human form. Working on you is working on the union. Really, in all actuality, without even thinking about the other person. Working on you is working on your union. Your higher self does not agree to these soul contracts with these karmics. They don't agree to these contracts. And that's the reason why they don't work. When you have elevated and transcended and ascended divine feminine, your higher self is going to say no to these lower level contracts because that's what they are. And I try to explain to people all the time, but it's like people choose to not listen to me. I'm not only just here because I'm a twin flame, I'm a past life regressionist who knows about soul contracts, who knows about things on the other side of the veil because I see it every day in my work. That these lower level contracts are for when you're in your lowest vibration. When you're in your lowest vibrations, then these people can come in on your frequency and they can teach you a lesson or two, or maybe three, or maybe four, depending on how much you want to stay around for the shit show. Okay? Until you realize, oh my God, I'm not in my highest vibration. Let me go ahead and raise my vibration so I can get a higher level soulmate or bring my twin in. Yes, there are higher level soulmates that you can bring in that is on the same frequency. Notice I said higher level soulmate. So that means that while you're in your highest vibration, you can pull in your higher level soulmate. Yes, it exists. May not be your original twin, but they are on your vibrational frequency. Either their divine counterpart maybe might not be doing what they're supposed to be doing either. And so they're allowed to come in on your frequency and continue the journey with you. Or maybe their divine counterpart didn't incarnate in this incarnation with them. It doesn't matter. They're helping you with your journey. You're going to always finish your journey. When you're a twin flame, you're going to complete your journey. Okay? Tatava. What is Tatava? Is that like Nirvana? Is it like another dimension? I never even heard of that until now, Neek. Now I'm learning something. Sounds beautiful, whatever it is. Just looking at it, it just has a whole different vibe. Amazing. Yes, baby. You just said baby. What you say? Huh? You can eat my food, Total. You can eat the rest of my food. You don't like my food. My food is not satisfying to you. It is. You need it. Please. Please. I'm done. I'm more thirsty than I'm hungry. Okay. You're so sweet. Eat my food, okay? Anyway. Oh, okay. I want to channel that. I just want to feel the energy of it. I love channeling. I love just taking myself out of this dimension and just going away. Sometimes channeling doesn't require that you have to stay in the physical body. That's one aspect of channeling that I like. I like to astral travel. And sometimes I just like to come out of the body. But I would love to just go and see where this place is. It just has a different vibration, you know? Sounds beautiful. One thing that I can tell you is when you reach union. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know a lot about Sanskrit because when I awakened, I started going to the Hindu temple, which I'm still a part of. Um, and just listening or reading the Bhagavad Gita was just truly an eye opener for me. It changed the game for me. It actually is. where I learned about twin flames. I didn't learn from twin flames from the internet. This is about 4 years ago. And believe it or not, you guys, 4 years ago, all this twin flame stuff was not prevalent like it is now. I learned about twin flames from going to the Hindu temple. And I was wondering why every time I looked at a god, I seen like their goddess that they matched up to. And I'm like, didn't understand it. That the only god that I seen where, his wife was sitting next to him was Radha and Krishna, which is basically Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene in a different incarnation, in the Indian incarnation. Isn't that something, you guys? If you look at the story of Horus, Krishna, Jesus, they're all the same. Buddha, all the same. And those are many incarnations of Christ. And this is the reason why I'm so close to the energy of Christ consciousness. Not only to mention that I, in one of my incarnations, was the first cousin of Jesus Christ from Joseph Amatheus, which is his uncle, which is Mary's twin brother. That was my father. Wow. And so I don't think that I ever called him Jesus. It was something that I was calling him Mishua, is what I called him when I seen him in my past life regression. I didn't call him Jesus. I called him Mishua. Mishua. Has him Ferris? No. I never heard of that name before. I'll have to look that up. I just screenshot it so I can look it up. But a lot of our, when you come in and I use terminology, if you're new to my channel, just know that if you don't understand it, if you don't grasp it, you will in due time, because we're all on our level spiritually. And I try to speak to people's souls more so than I try to speak to the ego mind of the 3D. I try not to speak to the ego mind. All right. And that's another thing about the journey too, is you learn to control your ego. And one thing that I noticed between me and my husband that I would share is that we both have an ego. We all have egos. But I believe a lot of, divine feminists don't believe that they have egos. We all have it. Okay? And we all have to work on it. There's a distorted masculine and there's a distorted feminine. And what makes them distorted is their ego. Yeah. Yeah, besides, it wasn't Yahshua, it was Mishua with the M. Or Mishua. Mishua. But yeah, same difference. Yeshua, Mishua. There's another one. Some people call him Emmanuel. But that's the reason why I love my husband's name Joshua too, because it's very close to Yeshua. Huh? Yeah, so anyway, you guys, thank you so much for holding space, love, and light. I hope you understand that union is not even it's only a thought away, honestly. Union is at a moment's notice. It doesn't have to take days, it doesn't have to take months, it doesn't even have to take hours. Trust me, if you want union, if you want union, YOU, divine feminine, if you're ready for union, then union will happen. I know that it sounds like fairy dust. It isn't. The moment, I swear to God, the moment that I prayed to Source that I was ready to be back with my husband, I didn't know my husband had already started reaching out to me like a couple of days prior to my prayer. And like I woke up the next day, the next morning, and he called me, and we've been back together ever since. I had it made up in my mind. I didn't want to be Adonai. Yeah, Adonai too, which means father. Um, or Baba, Adonai, Elohim, which is a group of spirit entities. Um, but the moment that I was ready and I was determined, and I didn't want to be with nobody else because no matter how much a man complimented me, offered me things, I didn't want it with that person. I wanted it with my husband. I couldn't get him off my mind. He was always on my mind. Every time I thought about my future and building my future, it wasn't with the person that wanted to build a future with me. I wanted to build my future with my husband. And I'm glad I waited out. I'm glad I wasn't intimate with no one. I'm glad I stayed true to course. Because that's it. I mean, when you get off a course on this journey, all God is going to do is course correct you anyway and put you right back on track. So you might as well stay. Okay? Me and my husband was talking about this earlier today. We can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way. Whichever way we choose to do it, we're going to get it done. So we might as well just go ahead and go along with the natural ebb and flow and stop fighting, you know, against the grain. And then we'll accelerate more, we'll be blessed more. We're on our journey and we're headed to beautiful things in our union. We got beautiful things that are ahead of us. Both of us or one of us could have blocked that. I'm glad we both chose not to. And so, yeah, my biggest advice before I leave is stop entertaining the past. All right, divine masculines, let go of your exes. Divine feminines, let go of your exes. Stop playing it safe. That's one thing that I wanted to tell you. Stop playing it safe on this journey. Your heart is meant to be broken open so you can receive love. Stop trying to play safe. Trust spirit. Trust that it's all leading to a divine purpose. And it's not what most people think. Well, I got to do all this just to gain union. No, work on yourself. Stop working on the exterior and what you see on the outside. Matter of fact, take your mind off of your divine counterpart. I can promise you, I took my mind off of him. I replaced him with everything I could think of. Every time I thought of him, I would replace him until finally it caught up with me that one night I told you about when I just couldn't replace him no more. I couldn't stop not thinking about him anymore. It just consumed me, and I'm like, I give. Okay, God, I want him. I'll be with him. And here we are together. It is fine, so. God, you guys, your twin flame is just so fine to you and so just, mwah. Can't nobody look like that person, think like that person, act like that person, even smell. My divine masculine smells so good. I smell good too, though. Don't nobody smell like me neither. He said, Oh my God, you got me over here doting on you. Why you laying next to me? Can you miss somebody even though they lay next to you? You don't. I swear to God. I think about all the things that I would say to him while I'm talking to him on the phone. Get over here. Shit, I ain't even did half of the things I said I was going to do. Which reminds me. Did you find your other ring, baby?
Hmm?
Your other ring
Which one?
on the other side.
Yeah.
All right, I'm about to go to sleep, y'all. I love y'all. It is hard to stay mad at them, but we don't let that be your weakness though. You gotta show them tough love. Trust me, it hurted me to not talk to my husband. It hurted me to not wake up. Listen, he was my wake up. He was my alarm. That's how I got up in the morning. I didn't have an alarm clock. He was my alarm clock. I was being lazy when I got home, and I didn't have him to call and wake me up. Oh, y'all, I didn't know how to act. I cried because you just don't know how. Like I said, we do have a dependency. You don't know how emotionally attached we were to each other. My daughter even told me one day, she was like, "Mommy, you and your husband are obsessed with each other." I said, "No, we're not." I didn't realize she was actually right to some degree. It's a healthy obsession. It's not a bad one. Like we still could be our individual selves. We don't possess who we are and what we do. We allow each other to do what we do, but I don't know. I love you. That's all I know. Shit, anything else is access. I try not to overthink our union. For real. I try to just go in the natural ebb and flow of everything, and whatever is not right, I try to fix on my own and then leave the rest to the universe. But I make sure that my thoughts are in alignment with the way that I feel. You guys, the next video I'm going to do is on manifesting. I want to talk to you guys about how to use high vibrational energy to manifest so you guys can start manifesting your unions, because that's what it's about. If you've already surrendered and you wonder why things haven't happened, it's because the next step is for you to be called to action like God called me into action. That's the next step. If you surrendered, let go, let God. Surrender it all. Then take action. Okay? You can't be a soldier laying down on the ground. You have to be ready for combat. And that's it. That's all, folks. I am done. It's late here. It's 11. Is it 11, baby?
Yeah.
He said, yeah. I just guessed. I don't know. I've been on for an hour, so I figured it was 11 by now. So I'm about to go ahead and go to sleep because it's late here. I love you guys immensely. Keep your heads up. Know that God did not send you to fight a losing battle. The battle is already won, y'all. You already got union. If you start looking at it the way that it really is, and that's the fact that you have union, then you'll see it. You'll see it sooner than what you think. If you keep looking at you guys, I never, baby, did you look at when we were separated? Did you look at us as being separated? He said no. I didn't either, because I always felt that we would be back together, even though we weren't. I never looked at us as separated. I know he's the one for me. As difficult as the union can be sometimes, as stressful as it can be sometimes, I just know he's my one. And because nothing else makes sense. Because although we are a lot alike, I was telling him this tonight, there's a lot of contrast. There's a lot of things about him that we don't have in common. But yet and still, here we are. And we're two stubborn people. So I don't think we'll ever give up on each other. At least I hope not. I don't know. That's just the real deal. That's the truth. I never looked at us as being separated, even though we were separated. I always looked at us as being a union. Because my soul and his soul have never let go of each other. Our higher selves brought us back together. They were in alignment. They were in agreement for us to be back together. And so we always have come back together. And even when we're apart, we're not apart. We're always together. And he always reminded me of that. He used to always tell me, Tyann, I'm always with you. I'm always going to be with you. I'm indebted to you. And when you know that you're indebted to a person, I mean, you're always going to be around. That person's always going to be around, no matter what. So just keep that in mind. Keep your love for that person. Send them love and light. Don't be mad at them. Yeah, the shamanic healings do take the edge off, oh baby. Let me not lie to you about that one. Honestly, if you want to know what got me through, that's what got me through. The shamanic healings, they help to take the edge off. Like the violet karma clearing helps to clear out the karma between you and your twin. You don't want your twin to come back when you have a lot of karma between the two of you. Trust me. It's not pretty. But I cleared most of me and Tolu's. Um, Archangel Michael Tumens do help too, because it helps you to not feel the pull from the union that many of you divine feminines complain about. And these services are not expensive services. What is the Archangel Michael Tumens? 125 for you and your twin both. So for two of you, it's 250, and you both get the healing. I cut cords for you, for your twin, which is what you want, especially if they're in a third party situation. You want to cut that energy. You have the right to do that because that's the other half of your soul. If somebody's prostituting the other half of your soul, you have every damn right to clear that shit out. Okay? It's not imposing on nobody's free will. It's not infringing on nothing. Yeah, a soul revocation too, because you want to break the ties between them and the karmic. I did some work. I did some work on my husband when we weren't together. I did some work on myself, spiritual work, spiritual healing, and it works. The only thing that you need after you do the work is a healthy mindset, a positive mind, positive affirmations. I'm gonna start posting some affirmations that you guys need to do to attune yourself with your twin. So you guys know how to get in touch with me if you're looking for some shamanic healing and some spiritual work to help you. I'm telling you, you you will see the worst of this if you don't do the spiritual work. The spiritual work is here too as a blessing, okay, as an honoring, a sacred honoring to yourself to heal yourself. Why you are joined with your divine counterpart. Okay. All right, you guys. Love you. I'm going to sign off here. Namaste. And thank you, my moderators, for being here as well. Don't want to forget that.